Welcome to another episode of Grab Coffee with me, where great conversations and better coffee meet purpose and leadership. Today's episode is caffeinated by Dalton Golf Solutions, transforming corporate events one golf experience at a time. I'm your host, Ian Peterson, so let's jump in. Today, we have one of my favorite people I met during our 8-year run here at Dalton Golf Solutions, Kyle Thompson, former pro golfer, 5 wins on a Korn Ferry Tour, 3 years on the PGA Tour, 3-time All-American golfer at, you see the cup, University of South Carolina, go Gamecocks, with a school record
That's
of
right.
5 wins, and who I know him as the area senior VP with Gallagher. Kyle, welcome to the podcast. It's been a minute. How are you?
Yeah, Ian, great to see you again. It was fun meeting you a few years ago when you came and set up shop at the local Korn Ferry Tour event here in Greenville, South Carolina, and it's been nice keeping in touch with you and watching all your travels and cool events that you've been doing over the years. So good seeing you again.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Good seeing you as well. That was the BMW Charity Pro-Am at Thornblade. I remember that well. I don't know if you remember this conversation or not, but and I refer to it often because prior to meeting you, we really didn't have a baseline on what we should charge for our experience on a golf course. And having that conversation helped us develop that baseline. And it was scary at the time because you didn't know how much to charge, but we realized that we had to change who our clients were. And that's who we started to go after. And then, it kind of skyrocketed from there. So I thank you for those helpful suggestions there.
That's awesome. I had no idea it made any impact on you at all, but I
Yeah.
was thoroughly impressed by you know, I was impressed by what you did and the work that you put into it, and I think it showed. Everybody had a great time, so you're definitely worth every penny.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you. We spent 2 long days together in South Carolina. So let's get to the coffee conversation. What is your favorite go-to coffee? Right now, I'm just having some Keurig here at this Airbnb, but what is your favorite go-to coffee?
Yeah, our favorite is typically we're just drinking the Dunkin' Donuts, Keurig, or we'll make a pot on a
Mhm.
weekend because we got more time. But that's typically my go-to. I'm not a big fan of the Starbucks coffee, but when I used to travel on tour for a living, going to different coffee shops was kind of a highlights of the week. And there's a guy named Matt Goggin,
Mhm.
Australian guy, player, and Matt used to always give me tips on where to go each week where we're traveling. So he would tell me, "Hey, go to this shop, order this," and
Mhm.
that's where I really fell in love with really good coffee. In my travels, the best that I had was down in Panama City, Panama. There's uh there's a it's called the Geisha bean coffee varietal. It's really good. You can see the bottom of your cup. It's really light in floral, but super super strong and tasty though. You have to try it sometime.
Yeah, I got to get down to Panama City, Panama. But you mentioned your life there on the Korn Ferry Tour. So you had a successful professional golf career, including 5 wins on the Korn Ferry Tour. What led you to transition from golf into the business and risk management world?
The main reason I transitioned is because I couldn't make a putt. My last year on the PGA Tour was a real struggle. Missed a lot of putts, and yeah, it was just a challenge. I ended up, I was 39 at the time. It was just time to move on. Got a young family, 3 kids, and it was just time to get into a little more stable life. And so there's another gentleman that I work with named Charles Warren who won a bunch on the Korn Ferry Tour. He played at Clemson, but he was already working for Gallagher. And
Hmm.
using my network that I had made traveling and around the country, I just felt like it was the best fit for me and my skill set. And I don't regret a single day of it. It's been great. I probably should have quit playing earlier. This has been a good career for me.
Gotcha. So what lessons or disciplines from your golf career have you carried over into your leadership role there at Gallagher?
Playing golf, for a living, you really get your teeth kicked in a lot. You get beat way more than you ever win. I played like
Hmm.
300 events and only won 5 times. So it's hard to win. And so now that resiliency and that ability to deal with, disappointment is something I think it's key to anybody that's in a sales role. And so that I use a lot of those experiences,
Hmm.
helps me a lot. And then just the tenacity to be good at anything, you really have to be all in 100%, and you have to really be wanting to learn and chase answers. And that's what I think those same qualities that I used in golf to be successful are also translating pretty well into, into this career. There's nobody standing over you in golf or this career is telling me you got to do this, and this. Like it's very entrepreneurial. And if I want to, provide and do well for my family, I need to go out and prospect and all the right things to help provide solutions for clients and make new clients.
Hmm.
And it's been really fun. I enjoy it. I like problem solving. Little did I know while I was competing, golf is nothing but risk management. Every hole, you're looking at trouble on one side and less trouble on the other. And how much trouble do I want to take on? Do I want to hit driver and be aggressive, or do I want to lay it back with a 2-iron or whatever? And so, yeah, it's risk management, and that's all. That's life, really. It's we're all trying to do the best we can and manage the risks the best we can.
Yeah, very true. Of course, management is risk management. I never thought about it that way, but how's your putting now?
I've got a little mat in my office, but I don't mat. I've probably played less than 10, 12 times this year. It's pretty much garbage. So every now and then I'll have a day where I'll make some putts and shoot,
Yeah, gotcha.
4 or 5 under, but it's not what it used to be. I was always really streaky in my career, but towards the end it just kind of got bad. So
So what was your strength in your career, your golf career, your golf game?
my I was not a long hitter, but the thing that I did better than most was my
Hmm.
wedge game. So really between 150 yards is where I was. That's where I really prided myself in being good. At one point, I led the PGA Tour in proximity to the pin from that 100 to 150 mark out of the fairway, and I was number 2 out of the rough. Unfortunately, I was hitting it in there to 12 to 15 feet every hole, but was just struggling on the greens. And you really have
Hmm.
to be making those putts. The PGA Tour average is right around 8 feet, where most guys are making half their putts, half miss, half make. So
Hmm.
anything longer than 8 feet, your percentage
Hmm.
makes go down. And my percentage makes were just way down compared to my peers. So had I putted well, I think I'd still be out there. That was really the thing that hurt me the most. But now these kids that are coming out, they hit the
Hmm.
ball so dang hard, and they're crushing it. And I was always an accurate golfer, but I think accuracy doesn't really matter anymore. I think it's all about power and length, and I mean that's what sells tickets up. So I
Hmm.
don't I don't blame the tour for
Hmm.
kind of pushing the game that direction.
Yeah. So what would you say your strength is now in business and risk management?
I think my strength in business and risk management is really my ability to connect with the three key stakeholders in a transaction: the clients, the carriers, because I'm the broker, I'm the middle guy, and then my own Gallagher folks, the people that help me with my business. And so you have to have good relationships with all three to really make it work. And I think that's something I pride myself on, that I've learned throughout my 7 years at Gallagher. All the top performers with whatever line of coverage that might be, whether it could be D&O insurance or cyber insurance or, you know, really gnarly property placements. I've got really strong producers that I've spent time and gotten to know and trust, and they trust me. And that's created a lot of synergy internally for me at Gallagher. And then, really corresponding with the clients and letting them know what we can help them with. And then you have to keep our carrier relations good. Not every account fits every carrier's, um, you know,
Hmm.
bucket, so to speak, of what they want to write. And so you kind of have to feed them all, but yet you want to get the best deal you can for your clients. So, and you want to do it in a way that's honorable and ethical, and not trying to really, mess up any of those relationships is really key.
Yeah. So how do you approach risk, not just in your industry, just but like for example, your leadership role in decision making?
That's a good question. I think a lot of times risk and the way you approach risk, it's twofold. I think a lot of times it's internal. It's like what seems good, what feels good. I mean, your brain, you kind of know what feels right, but then also it's external data, and it's important that to leverage both, because we've got a lot of data, having over 20, 30,000 clients. And so, um, we can look and see what everybody else is buying. We can see what kind of claims are happening and what those claims have cost. So we can appropriately benchmark our clients for how much limits they should be buying. But if a company's struggling with financials and, coming up with that money to pay for that or whatever it might be, there's just some intuition that has to come into play. And so working hand in hand with those companies, those clients to make sure that they feel comfortable with what they're covering is really key.
What parallels do you see between competing as a pro golfer and now leading in business?
You know, if I was a business owner hiring, I would hire ex-athletes because I think there's just so much that ex-athletes bring to the table. They bring a lot of hard work, skills, tenacity. You know, it takes a lot of internal fortitude to be a good athlete, to excel at any sport. And I think a lot of those same skills translate into business. You know, and there's a big component of golf that I don't really talk much about, but golf is a sport where you got to call penalties on yourself. Insurance at times has not had the best reputation, let's be honest, especially, you know, health insurance these days. All I do is the property casualty side of the insurance piece, but you know, one thing that I pride myself is just doing things the right way. Yeah, I want to get the best deal possible for my clients, but I want to make sure that they're covered, but they're covered ethically and that they know that. So it's there's times where things can be a little gray, and that's part of life, I think. But you know, do my best I can to make sure that we stay
Mm.
in the black and white between where we need to be. So I'm not sure if that
And
answers
what
your
was that
question,
first
but
day like for you? No, it answers my question. But what was that first day like for you? Like you said, you would hire athletes or ex athletes, but it had to be scary going from the PGA Tour to now working in corporate America. What was that first day like for you?
you know, honestly, it was pretty fun. I'd spent my entire life walking inside the tree lines most of the time. You know, with
Mm,
my caddy, and I have other teammates. My obviously my wife, my family. There's other teammates, but when you're in battle, it's really
mhm,
just me and one other person. So I was actually really looking forward to having that office structure, having a larger team to lean into. And I mean, I wore out a path to other folks' office, you know, their offices to asking 1,000 questions because I had hit the ground running in this new career, and I didn't. If I didn't know something, I would go find out, and I'm still like that. I just want to make sure that I know the right answer. If there's something I don't
mhm,
know, then I'll go find it. I'm not scared to ask for help. I think it's important for people to ask for help. I mean, as a golfer, I had instructors and I had trainers and different people to help me along the way, and you need that in business too. Just like you mentioned earlier, you know, this the conversation that we had helped you a little bit with your business. You just need that. Nobody can
mhm,
do it alone. I do think, like, with the whole boom in AI and the ability to get, you know, complex questions answered, I think that helps a lot of people now. So I think, but you can't always trust it. So, um, but for me, the first day in the office was really it was a welcome experience, and I still really enjoy going into the office. I'm not at the office today. Had a fairly light day, so I've decided to stay
yeah.
home and work from home and spend some time with my wife. We're gonna do a lunch, I think, in a little bit, but it's nice to have the flexibility to do that.
Nice, nice, very nice. How do you define success today compared to when you were on tour? We have wins, right? You had the 5 wins on the Korn Ferry Tour, but every round you can be successful one round or successful one hole and not successful, the next. But how do you define success now?
That's a great question because it's changed. In in golf, you
Hmm.
get success. The only success I usually felt like was from winning. Most of the time, you don't have a lot of success. In this career, I've really modified what success looks like because, and I tell the young kids that I mentor in the office the same. Like, you're not going to win every account. Success is different. Success is getting somebody to respond to an email. Success is a cold call where they pick up and they accept a meeting. You know, and then let's say each step of the process is another success. There's a lot of wins in this career, way more than golf, and it's been really encouraging. It's something I really love, like what I'm doing now. You know, and real success, it's not just winning new clients and new business. I mean, that's great, but real success is winning for the client themselves. It's like fixing a problem. If they have a bad claim that you help fix, or if they have, you know, a lapse in insurance or something, like I've got a client now that a brand new client that is needs help getting insurance on a building he hasn't had insured in a year. And so I am trying to find them a solution. And that sort of thing is it's fun, it's rewarding. And so, there's a lot of wins. That's why I think it's the best career in the world.
So congratulations on the career transition. No, it's not easy. And I love this conversation I can share with my audience because people may be looking at doing the exact same thing, perhaps not from being a pro golfer to an executive for a risk management insurance company, but a career transition nonetheless. What's one piece of advice would you give that person or give to a person that's looking to make a career change?
I guess the one piece of advice that I would give to anybody looking to make any career change is if you make a change, be all in. You can't be half in one career and you can't do half and half, I feel like. You have to give it your best. And when I left golf, I left golf. I wasn't trying to still compete and play a little bit on the side but then do insurance, risk management. I went all in and I tried to learn my craft to become a pro in it at my craft the way I was at golf. And so I think anybody that's looking to change careers, it's scary at first. Anytime you have unknowns, it can be scary, but I truly feel like God will take care of us. And if you just work hard, there's nothing that hard work won't fix. And if you work hard and you learn your stuff, you'll do fine in any career. People appreciate hard work and people see it. And if you're appreciated and seen, you'll be taken care of in the long run.
Hey, that's a great way to end it. Kyle, thank you. Thanks for joining me for a virtual cup of coffee. Thanks for helping me with my business. And also thanks for helping me with my golf game because we also did some chipping drills while we were out there too. Go Gamecocks. And to my audience, thank you for listening to another episode of Grab Coffee with me, caffeinated by Dalton Golf Solutions, transforming corporate events one golf experience at a time. I hope you learned something today because I did. And if you like this episode, don't forget to like, share, subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss what's brewing next. Until next time, keep your coffee strong and your conversations meaningful.